Hey people of planet Earth, I'm Lori with Behavior Education at Spirit Keeper Animal Sanctuary. Welcome to Royals at the Ranch for Thursday, May 25th, 2023. No, these aren't Python Regis or Royal Pythons. These are two of my Bredls pythons, Morelia bredli. This is Boreth and this is Sunspear. None of my Royals are out right now, and these guys are. These guys are out every night and pretty much every day, and they're royalty around here. So I'm just moving Boreth because he was climbing on some boxes, and I'm going to show you some of those boxes in just a minute. I'm going to go over this week how our Python Regis SPI study is coming logistically. I'm going to show you some of the exciting items that have already arrived, and I'm going to go over with you what we still need before we can get this study started. And I couldn't really do that with Boreth climbing on the boxes. Plus, as I've already mentioned, I know he's not a royal python, even though I consider these guys royalty in my home. So I'm going to let Boreth exercise on this activity station or pretty much anywhere else he'd like to exercise besides the boxes I'm about to show you. And I'll see if any of our royals are actually awake and up, and that maybe one of them could join me and I could have an actual Python Regis in this video as we go over all of the exciting things that have arrived for them to participate with in our Python Regis SPI study. Did Boreth knock this down on you? I'm sorry. That was super rude of him. All right, I'm back and I have a Moon with me. A Moon is one of the first two royal pythons that we ever got. And it seems that after 3 years and 2 months of him living here with us, he has decided that I'm okay and that he actually likes coming out of his enclosure and exploring, because 3 nights in the past week he's been at his door and he has actually come out when I've opened it, and he's explored not only around the room that his enclosure lives in, but I also found him in this room, which is all the way down the hall from where he lives. So suddenly, now that he is going to be 4 years old in November, I guess he feels confident enough and familiar enough with me and with the environment that he doesn't mind coming out. So let's go over the things that we have for this spread of participation index study of royal python or Python Regis enclosure use and what we still need. So right next to me here are these slates, and this is what we're going to use for the basking surfaces underneath the hotspot. And we have 13 of these. We need 20, so we need 7 more of these slates, and they are on our Amazon wish list. We have 20 of these vines, so we don't need any more vines. We've got 20 of these packages of Fluker's vines, and we needed 20, so we're good to go on this, and it should no longer be on our wish list because we have all that we need. And this is to wrap around the PVC perch in the enclosures to make it look nicer, to make it look more naturalistic, and also to give the snakes something to grip onto when they're on that smooth PVC. Moving over here, this is what the glass looks like that we are making the heat mat sleeves out of. So this is a really large piece of glass. It is the size that we have to get to fit the 24-watt heat mats that ZoomEd is sending us. And I'm going to show you what that looks like all put together here in a minute. These glass pieces are $38 a piece. It's actually it is the most expensive piece of enclosure furnishing that we need, because we need 2 glass sheets per heat mat in order to make it safe to put the heat mats inside the PVC enclosures. So we need, I believe we need 34 more sheets of glass. I've got 4 sheets of glass here, I guess 32 sheets. So over in the UK, the researchers over there have heat mat sleeves that are sold commercially. So they will be using those, and I am making homemade heat mat sleeves here, and I have 2. I'll show you what one looks like. So that means we have 4, and that we need 16 more heat mat sleeves, but that's 2 sheets of glass each. So if I'm doing my math correctly, we still need 32 sheets of glass. It does come in a box like this, and this is inside another box which has packaging material around it, and it's protected by styrofoam and padding material in here. And we've had 4 this size delivered and 1 of another size delivered that I was experimenting with before we realized we needed this bigger size, and none of them have arrived broken. They've all arrived just fine. So if anyone's worried about purchasing glass for us, I wouldn't worry. It seems to be well packaged. I know it's a lot of waste. It's not exactly the greenest packaging, but we need this for the study, and in order to get it here safely, it's got to be packaged like this. I am going to check with a local glass company and see if they can make something exactly like this, and if it would be less expensive. But for now, please check our Amazon list, because the exact glass that we're using so far is on that list. It's already got little feet on the bottom that makes an air pocket when you put them together, so the heat mat can fit in there and it can still have airflow around it. It is tempered glass and it is heat resistant, so it's okay to use with heat because it's actually made for cooking and for food. So now let's move over here to the other side of this room, and I will show you some of the other items that we already have here. We have all of the humid hides we need. So we have the 6-quart size, which, oh my gosh, I can't even get to the actual. So we have the 6-quart size, which will work out just fine for most of the snakes. And what I will be doing is pre-drilling holes in the top here, and we're providing sphagnum moss for the humid hides, and I'll be making instructional videos as to exactly how people should stuff their humid hide with the sphagnum moss. So the 6-quart size is going to work for most of the snakes, but if we have any extra large royals, I will show you the size that we're using for them. Okay, so here are Amun and I checking out this box, which is an entire box of Holy Roller balls. And the Holy Roller balls are going to be used for an enrichment item in each of the enclosures. And so far, I have tested this on my largest royal, which is over 2,000 grams. And then on my smallest royals, obviously it works fine for them. They can fit through the holes with no problem. I've opened one. Let me take it out. So this is what those Holy Rollers look like. All 20 of these were donated by the same person, and I'm not sure yet if that person wants to remain anonymous or not, but you know who you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for donating 20 Holy Roller balls. So I've got 2 more cases of the 6-quart humid hides, and then we have 1 case of the bigger size, and I'll show you if there's a study snake that needs this bigger size. They're just like the 6-quart ones, but they are, I think, 11 quarts. I'm not sure, and I can't even see. Oh, 16 quarts. So this is the 16-quart size. Same thing. If there's a really big royal that needs a humid hide this size, you don't need one this size, Amun. I am going to pre-drill the hole in it, and we will make sure it's stuffed with sphagnum moss and that everybody is squared away when we send these out to the citizen scientists. All right, so we're all set with humid hides. We don't need any more of these. Also, one of the tubs is going to be used as an alternate clear hide in the basking area. So we're going to have a black plastic hide on the bottom of the basking area. And then we're going to have one of these hides on top of it with a hole cut in the front. And then we're going to have the slate on top. And then the humid hide, which will be made out of this same type of container, will be in the middle. And then we will have a cool side hide. So now let me show you some of the smaller items. Okay, ignore all this stuff up here. This is one of my standing work areas, and none of this stuff is study related, so ignore that. All right, we have one of these nets, which we are putting up on the top of the enclosure roof to give the snakes something to utilize that top third of their vertical space if they choose. We're going to put a sky hide up there and one of these nets. Now these nets are only, I think, about $14, which is about 16 pounds. And we only have one of them. This is the only one that we've had donated. So we need 19 more of these nets, you guys. Get on our Amazon list. And if you want to contribute to the study, we need 19 more of these nets. So there's that. These are grommets, which are going to go into the backs of the enclosures and allow the heat mat cord to pass through without letting the snake pass through. We have all of these we need. Someone donated a whole package of 20, so we have plenty of those. And I also have some extra black ones if somebody wants a black one instead. So we have plenty of grommets, not a problem. Zoomet is donating all the basking bulbs. We have black plastic twist ties to attach the nets and the sky hides to the ceiling, and for any other random things we need, like if we need extra twisty ties to secure the vines. And someone donated a whole pack of 100, so we don't need those. What we do need are these water dishes. So we have one of these jumbo heavyweight Crocs. It's a 106 ounce, 3.13 liter crock dish, and this is what we're using in each of the 20 enclosures, and we have one, so we need 19 more of these. They are on our Amazon list. However, if we end up having to buy them ourselves from our GoFundMe account, we will probably get them in bulk someplace else. But if you would like to purchase us a water dish, they are on our Amazon list. And then we have 1, 2, 3, how many? Help me count, Amun. How many cameras do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 13 cameras. I was really excited. Somebody has just gone crazy donating these cameras to us so that we can get surveillance footage of the snakes to observe the behaviors. So we have 13 cameras and we need 20. So we actually only need 7 more, and they're on sale right now for $19. They are on our Amazon list. Okay, I think that's all I have to show you at this point in time. I am going to include some photos of the heat mat sleeve and how I've made that in the one I'm testing. I'm testing one first, not in an enclosure. I'm testing one on my kitchen counter to see how hot it gets, to see if the heat mat stays stuck to it, just to see how everything works out. And then next I will put a humid hide on top of it, and I'll see what the temperature ends up being inside the humid hide and how that works out being on top of it. So I'm testing it outside of an enclosure before I even put it in an enclosure. And it's just one of the safety steps that we need to go through to make sure that that's going to work out and be safe for the snakes. But I'll show you pictures of that, and I think I might have a short video of that. I'll also show you the most recent pictures of the pilot enclosure. And we have 2 pilot enclosures. One is set up for a snake, you know, this size or smaller. I think Amun, how much do you weigh? Like 700 grams? So I would say for a Python Regis that's, you know, not over 1,500 grams, the test enclosure with all the medium stuff in it is going to be sufficient. I have a second test enclosure, pilot enclosure, that I'm setting up for Betty, who's our 25-year-old Python Regis, and she's our largest snake. She's over 2,000 grams. She's got the same items in her test setup as the other test setup. However, those items are bigger. So I will show you some photos of both, and that's where we're at so far. If you want to help us make this study happen, and we are so close, we are literally just a few items away from everything we need. And so either we get those donated or we buy those out of our GoFundMe account. And our GoFundMe account is only short about 400 pounds, 450 pounds, which is about, I don't know, $360 of enough money to pay for all of the shipping of enclosures that we have to pay to ship, all of the shipping to ship the kits out to citizen scientists, and the remainder of the items that we need off of our list if they're not provided for us through donations off the Amazon list. We do still need to buy sky hides because those aren't available on Amazon, and I wasn't able to find anyone so far to donate sky hides, so it looks like we're gonna have to buy those. However, I do know the person that donated the Holy Rollers is working with the company to donate possibly 10 sky hides, but we need 20. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an update. I wanted to share with you what the chaos of my workspace looks like. It's pretty tiring. I'm working on this project. I'm also finishing up my bachelor's. I just have 2 classes and my capstone project to go. And then I'm finished with that, and I start grad school, hopefully in January at Virginia Tech, studying applied animal behavior. And I've already been approved that I can do my thesis on some type of behavior project with snakes. So I'm really excited to move on and do more research with snake behavior and other reptile behavior. And it's a lot of work though. I'm taking 2 classes this term in order to finish up and then get my capstone started so that I can be all done by November. And what else? I'm taking care of the animal sanctuary here. We have 45 horses here. We have about 10 snakes in our actual animal sanctuary program, in addition to the 105 snakes that I have in my behavior lab. We have 16 dogs at the animal sanctuary and like 12 cats. We used to have a lot more species of animals, to include llamas, sheep, goats, pigs, ferrets, chinchillas, rats, birds. I'm forgetting some, but we've had lots of different species here, and we are trying to just cut it down to a manageable number of species and a manageable number of animals. So we're doing all that. I'm still maintaining the animal sanctuary, school, plus I have behavior consultation clients and animal training clients that I'm working with, and I'm facilitating this study as far as the SPI part of the ball python deep dive. I'm taking care of organizing all the citizen scientists and the logistics of all this equipment. So have pity on me. Please, if you want to help, look at our Amazon list and donate even 1 item off the list. Even 1 item off the list helps, because that's less we have to take out of our GoFundMe and buy items directly, because that GoFundMe is really to buy anything at the end that we forgot about. And it's also to pay to ship out the kits to the citizen scientists. And then we need to pay freight to have some of the enclosures shipped out to citizen scientists and to my behavior lab here. All right, so that's where we're at. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for your continued support of animal behavior training and welfare. And Amun and I want to remind you to always be kind and love your animals. This is what the heat mat sleeve looks like with the heat mat in it. The rock is just there to weight it down a little bit so no one knocks it off the counter. And Boreth experimented a little bit with it, and she chose to sit next to it instead of on it. This is Barkley's test enclosure, so that's got the medium size stuff in it. And this is Betty's test enclosure, which has the large size things in it.